Hi everyone, and welcome to my first Friday coffee break of the year and the first session in my mini series, which is called my Finding series. So today is all about finding calm. Next week we'll be looking at finding confidence and courage, and the week after that we will be looking at finding clarity. So this is the first session, and I really felt that as we sort of launched into 2023, I think there were probably two camps. One was I'm taking it slowly, I'm not rushing, let's slow down before we speed up, and the other camp, which was the kind of dive in, let's go, it's 2023, it's a new year, let's get going. And I think I fell into the second camp. I am very much a morning person, a Monday person, a beginning of the year person, and then I sort of peter out slowly after that. So I'm learning a lot actually about what it means to find calm. So firstly, just quickly to introduce myself, if you don't know me, welcome to Lead Your Way. My name is Emily Petty. I am a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm a leader of people. My passion really is to enable you to love what you do, enable you to get up every morning and just feel excitement and feel motivated, and to just feel that feeling of desire to do what you do, as opposed to what I hear a lot is people who feel just they're not motivated, they don't like what they're doing, everything is a struggle and everything is hard work. And within that, I want to enable you to belong, to be part of a community, to be part of this community, to join whether that be my group programs or my live events, to have a sense that you are not alone in this journey. To have belief, a self-belief that whatever happens, and a trust that, whatever happens, whatever we make mistakes or we fail, things will be okay. And then to find that fulfillment piece, that feeling that you are waking up every day, feeling fulfilled, knowing that you're making a difference. And then the last piece is having an impact. So we are motivated by the impact that we have in this world, whether that's a philanthropic impact, whether that's an impact by generating more money for the world, success in your business, whatever that impact is. I want you to have impact in your relationships at work, and in your relationships in your personal life. So that's how I operate. I offer one-to-one coaching, I offer team building programs, I offer workshops and training, and facilitate away days. And I'll speak a little bit more about that at the end of this session. So calm, and I think often that is that kind of hand on the chest, kind of just calm your breathing. And this session, just to say, isn't going to be kind of breathing meditation exercise. I can talk through if anyone needs anything like that around kind of body scans and breathing. Please do let me know. I can run a session on that. So I put out on social media this morning the quote from Viktor Frankl, or has been associated to Viktor Frankl, who was an Auschwitz survivor. And he talked about this notion that there is a space between stimulus and response. And it's in that space that we choose how we react. And it's in that choice of how we react that we learn and we grow. And he talks a lot about that in his book, A Search for Meaning, I think it's called, which talks about his time in Auschwitz and how even in that state of complete despair, he believed that you could still find meaning and purpose in your day and in your life. So for me, it's that space, and that is calm. So I can't promise that I'm going to stop your boss coming in and saying to you today, could you just quickly do this job for me? Or why didn't that work, or someone criticising you, or an email coming in that just doesn't feel right, or that you've got to have a difficult conversation. I can't stop those things from happening. They do happen. And I guess the skill in leading ourselves or leading others, if you manage or lead other people, and the skill in finding that fulfillment is being able to find calm in those moments when stuff's happening, when negative life events happen, if you're talking in sort of psychological terms, whether that's a micro event, so something that might happen in the day, for example, the boss asking you to do something that you hadn't anticipated, or something bigger in our lives. And the tool that I'm going to share with you today really has helped me. It's helped me decide in that moment, you've got the stimulus and you need to act, how to act, what is the best course of action. But firstly, just want to touch on emotions. So we can't really navigate this space between stimulus and response without understanding our emotions. And calm is an emotion. So if you're not feeling calm, you're probably feeling some other emotions. So if you're watching live, please do say hi, and please do share any emotions that are coming up for you. So what I want you to do is have a think about, what are you feeling when you're not feeling calm? And to label that and start to notice that feeling. You can give yourself some space to just really dig deep into this. Often people might say that they are stressed, maybe you feel anxious, you're worried. The key thing is to think, actually, what lies beneath that? How can I articulate that in a different way? So stress and anxiety very much sit as an umbrella term, and what we've done is we have become less and less granular, or less and less good at, I suppose, articulating how we're feeling. So the first skill is to articulate your feelings and notice them. So an example might be, I'm trying to think, I haven't prepared an example, but I'm feeling stressed. Actually, you're feeling stressed because you've got a presentation that's coming up that's really important to you, and maybe it will impact your promotion or your next step, and there might be something that lies beneath that matters to you. So it might matter to you that you get this promotion because you need to earn more money for your family. And that speaks to something deeper and more important. So digging a little bit deeper helps us to really spot what lies beneath perhaps the bigger emotion. And that is the first step to helping you think about actually what's meaningful here and how should I act. Because often we take action on things that don't matter so much, but maybe it's a pressure that someone else is putting on us, or maybe it's something that we think we ought to be acting on. So that's the first step, is to really label your emotion. And then this tool is less emotional, it's more practical, and I wanted to give something very practical here today. And that is to think about, actually, I have this stimulus, my boss has come in and have said, Emily, I want you to do this piece of work, and I have a choice in terms of how I act. And the problem is we inaccurately assess our level of control in terms of the situation, and therefore we take action that isn't always aligned with our level of control. So, for example, there are two ways that we can ineffectively respond from that space, from stimulus to response. So the first is that we immediately take action. Maybe you respond straight away and say, yes, okay, I'll do it. And then you feel stressed and you just try to fit everything in, you work late, and you keep going, but obviously those levels of stress are going to keep rising because you've said yes in that moment. You just said yes, I'll do it, fine, okay. And then you think, shit, I've got back-to-back meetings and I've got 10 other million things to do and emails are flying in, my team are asking me questions, and you can see the levels of stress rise and rise and rise. And we get into this pattern, and this pattern is called over control. And I think many of us are in that state because we've been told you've got to work hard. If you want a promotion, if you want to do well, if you want to succeed in your career, you've got to work hard. You've got to say yes to opportunities and possibilities. You've got to be a can-do person. You've got to do it. You've got to say yes. You can't say no. You can't be a computer says no person. Keep going, keep doing. And this is what exacerbates this sense of overwhelm and the sense of the opposite of calm, because we think we can control the situation. We think we can say yes. We think we can take action. So that is called over control. And that might, if you think about control, we might try to, overly control a difficult situation that we're in. We try to jump in very quickly to solve the problem, for example. We do too much too quickly without actually stepping back and thinking, actually, is this the right action? And an example I can give from my own life and career is that, I've been definitely in this camp, and, take one small step. One action is better than nothing. I have been fallen into the mistake of doing the same thing. I think there's a quote that, whatever failure is to do the same thing over and over again, that I kind of, but I've got to do it. And so I'm going to keep doing the same thing. And I take action and I tick the things off my to-do list. And I spend, days and days doing stuff. And actually I haven't done the first bit, which is actually work out what is the most important thing. How can I maybe change what I'm doing, but that feels far too hard to think about how to change what I can do. It's much easier to just do the same old thing again and again, and therefore I waste time, I waste energy, I continue the cycle of maybe failure, of not taking the time to reflect on how can I improve things and make things better. So that's the first state, is over control. And the second state is called passive coping. So if you think about flight and fight, this is the flight response. So this is when we do not take action. So this might be that you procrastinate, that you stay in your thoughts in your notebook. Again, I can be quite good at this. You stay kind of doodling and thinking and processing, or you actively retreat. So it might be in a conversation or in a meeting. You actively stop communicating, maybe you physically withdraw, you stop being proactive maybe with your boss, and you become into much more of a passive situation. And it's here where you could take action. You could be doing things that could have an impact, that could help you to find calm, but instead you are not doing anything and you are not taking action. You're actively retreating, and this is when we feel sorry for ourselves, we feel a bit resentful, a bit bitter, and you kind of delve into sort of self-indulgent pit of despair. So those are the two, I suppose, negative states that we just don't want to be in, and neither of those give us calm, because the more you're not doing something, the more agitated you feel, and the more you overact and over control, the more agitated you feel. So what do? We need to think about that stimulus, understand our emotions, what we're feeling, what matters most to us, and then look at how we respond. So active coping is when we have an accurate assessment of how we can act. So for my example might be, I'm running programs and or I put something out an event and I don't get any sign-ups. So active coping would look like me getting some feedback. It would look like me doing an evaluation. It would look like me fully doing a sort of an evaluation of feedback and assessment of what I've done, what didn't work, what worked well, and then honestly saying, what can I improve and how can I improve it? What do I need to learn? Do I need to go on another training course? Do I need to get some support and some advice? Rather than keeping on doing the same thing badly, taking the time to reassess that. And that feels hard sometimes because it's like, shit, I've got so much to do. But actually, it's much better to take some time out to really assess actually what went wrong there. How can we do it better? So that, I mean, that works in my life because I run my own business, but that can work in, you did a presentation and it didn't work. You got some bad feedback. You can move into passive coping, or you could choose to get that feedback and choose to grow and choose to learn. And then sometimes we do need to surrender, which is the final piece, which is about knowing when to step back. And sometimes really genuinely finding calm is about walking away, going for a walk, sitting on a sofa, lighting a candle, reading a book, having a bubble bath, going for a massage, riding a horse, riding a bike, going swimming, whatever it does it for you, and letting go. So there's the kind of self-care piece, but there's an inner piece around letting go. Actually I need to let go of that presentation didn't go so well. I got some bad feedback, but actually I know deep down that it wasn't anything about what I did. It was about how they responded. It was about the moment, and I'm just going to let that go. I'm not going to hold on to that experience and let that shape me moving forward. So we find calm when we are making active choices to either actively cope, so to take meaningful action, the right action that's aligned with our values, that's aligned with what matters most, and we find that by digging deep into our emotions, or surrendering. And again, we find that by doing the same step, by digging deep into our emotions and understanding how we're feeling and what we need in this moment. So if you're feeling exhausted, if you are feeling you just don't have any energy to keep going, actually by over control and keeping on going when you're mentally exhausted, that action is going to render itself pretty much useless. And really, therefore, the only action that you can take is to surrender, it's to step back, it's to stop and to breathe. And that could be 2 minutes, it could be 2 days, it could be a week. Whatever you need to do that, really, really think about how can you lead yourself through that journey. So that's really all I wanted to share around finding calm. So it's a different take, I suppose, on finding calm. So I hope you didn't expect kind of a deep breathing, calming exercise. I did some breathing and body scanning in Inspire and Ignite. If you want to catch up on that, let me know. And the reason why I wanted to share that framework is because really it's the foundation for what I call the inner work, for leading ourselves and taking radical responsibility for our lives and owning our inner power. This starts here. It starts with finding calm. It starts with, I sort of like to kind of sit up and feel that we've just got this really strong core. And this is what I am going to teach and share in my brand new workshop that I am running on the 31st of January called Lead From Within. So we will build on tools like this to help you find that inner core, so that in a moment, if you imagine the world around you, all the stuff flying in, you can be strong from within. So we are going to explore how to find your values, your strengths, how to move from self-awareness, from our ego to self-awareness to self-acceptance. We'll talk about reflecting, the power of reflection, and how to use that as a daily practice to enable you to lead from within. So lead from within is for you if you manage or lead others, if you don't need other people, it's equally valid for you, particularly if you work with lots of other people, if you manage stakeholders, if you project manage, if you're in a workplace where you are managing relationships, or if you're running your own business, it's equally valid for you. So it's not necessarily sort of pure management training. It's all around kind of building those foundations to help you lead yourself, to take radical responsibility in your life. But equally, it will give you such a powerful platform to lead others. So that's my first exciting thing that I'm putting out this year. So that's on the 31st of January in the morning. It's a 4-hour workshop. If you can't make it live, don't let that put you off, because I will be recording it and you can catch up. It is costs £111. If you send more than 5 people in your organisation, I'm offering that for £80 a head. And if you self-fund, I will offer that for £80 as well. So it's an absolute bargain to get all of that content from me. We will also have a private Facebook group, so there'll be opportunities to chat and to learn together over a 2-week process around that training. And then my other very exciting thing that I wanted to share with everybody inside this group today is I am running an in real life day. So a day for you to grow deep roots. So it's called Deep Rooted, and it's an opportunity for you to take yourself out, to take yourself away from the busyness of your life. It's an opportunity for you to reflect. It's an opportunity for you to connect with up to 11 other women. So I'm capping it at 12 people. It's an opportunity for you to be creative. I have got a wonderful lady called Anna who's going to come and do a creative exercise with you. An opportunity for you to receive coaching. So there'll be walking coaching and group action learning sets. So it's really a space for you to be, a space for you to connect with who you are, to do this inner work. And if, particularly you're kind of not sure about what your future holds, what your next steps are, even who you are or where you how you're feeling, this is perfect for you. I have 6 spaces left. 6 people have signed up so far, so don't delay. It is on Friday the 24th of March in Hoddesdon in Hertfordshire, so it's about 30 minutes out north of London on the train. If you are from further afield than the southeast, I can offer you accommodation the night before. So the day rate is £150. If you stay the night before, it's £244, and all your meals and food, obviously the same thing, and obviously accommodation is included. An ensuite room at a conference centre is included in that price. So if you're interested in either of those opportunities, please do drop me a line. I would love for you to join me either for Lead From Within on the 31st of January or Deep Rooted on the 24th of March. So I hope you have a calm Friday. I hope you can just find some space to work through that model. And have a think about where you are now. Where are you sitting? Are you sitting in over control or passive coping? And what's the right answer for you? Where do you need to go? Do you need to move into active coping or into surrender? So I hope that's helpful, and I look forward to seeing you the same time, same place next week for looking at how we can find courage and how we can find confidence. Happy Friday, everyone.